You think you're just being honest, but one wrong sentence can kill her attraction to you instantly. Most men have no idea why she suddenly pulls away. It's not your looks, it's your words. We've all been there. You say something, you think it's harmless, and suddenly the room goes cold. The silence is deafening. Why does this happen? Because men and women often speak two different emotional languages. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 phrases that sabotage your relationship, often before you even realize it. If you want to stop the guessing game and finally understand what makes a woman feel truly seen, safe, and valued, watch this. And stick around, because the last mistake on this list is the silent killer, the one that destroys more deep connections and marriages than almost anything else. You won't believe how common it is. Let's start with the classic. Why are you being so emotional? Sounds logical, right? You're trying to bring reason into the conversation. But here's the reality. When you say this, she doesn't hear a request for logic. She hears, "Your feelings are invalid and I don't care about your internal state." It's the ultimate dismissive act. It's like telling a person who is drowning, "Why are you making such a scene in the water?" It shuts down communication immediately. Instead of calming her down, you're just pouring gasoline on the fire of her frustration. She stops feeling safe with you because she feels judged for her natural response. Pro tip: next time you feel the urge to say this, replace it with, "I can see you're upset. Help me understand why." Notice the difference? One is an attack, the other is an invitation. But stay with me, because if you think that's bad, wait until you hear what happens when you compare her to someone from her past. This is a nuclear bomb. Never, ever go here. I mean it. Even if she is acting exactly like her mother, pointing it out is a direct, violent attack on her individuality. Why is this so destructive? Because you're pulling in a third party, someone she likely has a deep, complicated, and perhaps painful history with, into your private argument. You're not just critiquing her behavior, you're attacking her identity. You're essentially telling her, you are a clone of the person you're trying not to be. This creates an us versus them dynamic where you are the judge, jury, and executioner. She will immediately put up a wall to protect herself from your judgment. The trust you spent months building can vanish in seconds. You are essentially telling her that you don't see her, you see a version of her that she hates. We hide behind honesty to justify being rude. We say, "I'm just being honest," but that is usually code for, "I want to say something mean, and I don't want you to be mad at me for it." Brutal honesty without empathy is just brutality. If you have to say something difficult, focus on the impact the situation has on you, not on the person. Don't use truth as a weapon. When you weaponize honesty, you teach her that she can't trust you to be kind during difficult moments. And without that trust, intimacy is impossible. Remember, there's a difference between being truthful and being hurtful. Think about how you'd want to be approached if the roles were reversed. It's simple, but few men actually do it. And speaking of traps, there's a specific phrase you might use when you're frustrated that basically tells her she's alone in this relationship. Before we dive into that, if you're finding this breakdown useful and want to master the art of relationship psychology, hit that subscribe button right now. We post deep dives on male-female dynamics that you won't find anywhere else. By subscribing, you're making a commitment to becoming a more conscious, effective communicator. Plus, it helps us keep these videos coming to you every single week. This is the ultimate sign of giving up. It's the king of passive-aggressive statements. When you say this, you aren't actually giving her permission. You are expressing resentment. It's a way of saying, "I don't care anymore, and I'm going to hold this over your head later." When she asks for your input, even if she's being stubborn, and you hit her with this, you're telling her that the relationship is no longer a partnership. It's a resignation. You're signaling that you're checked out. And believe me, nothing kills feminine attraction faster than a man who has emotionally checked out. It makes her feel lonely, even when you're standing right next to her. Instead of this phrase, try expressing your frustration in a way that includes her. I feel like we're not getting anywhere. Can we take a break and come back to this when we're calmer? This is gaslighting, pure and simple. Whether you intend to be malicious or not, telling a woman her reaction is too much makes her feel crazy. Her reality is her reality. When she expresses anger or sadness, those are real feelings for her. By telling her she's overreacting, you're effectively telling her that her internal experience is wrong. If she can't feel understood by you, if she can't feel like you are a safe harbor for her emotions, she's eventually going to look for that understanding somewhere else. Or worse, she'll just shut down completely and stop sharing anything with you. And once that connection is severed, it is incredibly hard to repair. It's not just about the task, it's about reliability. When you repeatedly say you'll do something, like fixing that thing in the kitchen or calling her back, and then you don't, you aren't just being lazy. You're showing her that her needs and your promises are not a priority. It's a slow erosion of respect. She starts to feel like she has to manage you, like she's your mother, not your partner. And when she feels like your manager, the romance is dead. Respect is the bedrock of attraction. Without it, the chemistry fades into a quiet, cold resentment. Don't promise what you won't do. Simple, right? But the most dangerous mistake is still ahead. We've covered a lot, but I promised you the most destructive, relationship-ending phrase. The absolute worst thing you can say is, "I don't know why you're so unhappy. I do everything for you." Why is this the absolute worst? Because it frames the relationship as a cold, transactional business deal. You're keeping score. You're telling her she owes you for the things you've done. It completely erases the emotional connection and replaces it with a ledger of debts. It forces her to defend her own happiness, and it makes her feel like an obligation rather than a partner. It suggests that you aren't doing things for her because you love her, but because you want a thank you or a specific result. When you say this, you kill her desire to appreciate you. You turn a loving relationship into a negotiation, and no one wants to stay in a negotiation forever. The common thread through all these mistakes is simple. Stop trying to win the argument and start trying to understand the person in front of you. Words aren't just sounds. They are tools that build or destroy your reality. If you want a better, stronger, more passionate relationship, watch your language. It's the easiest way to make an immediate, positive change. If you want to go even deeper into the psychology of how to build lasting attraction and avoid these common pitfalls, check out the video on your screen right now. It covers the 3 stages of relationship decay that most men ignore until it's too late. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you gain some clarity today. I'll see you in the next one.